Well, when I was like 12 years old, I started to get rebellious, like a lot. And then, like, I started like smoking, like, I tried it and stuff like that. And then everyone was obviously like worried about me. And I was just like, oh, it's like I'm young and I want to try some things and discover things.
Hmm.
But then I realized maybe I wasn't just like trying stuff because I was pretty young. I was I was young. And then years later, I just was in my room and I cried and I was like, I want to get the hell out of here. And then yeah, that's how it started.
Gotcha. So I guess you use those things to really just cover up what was happening on the inside.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that again, a lot of people, like you mentioned, like they turn to drugs, they turn to smoke and then alcohol and so on and so forth, just to hide those things. With that being said, was there anyone around you from the age of 12 up until now that's a support system for you?
That's a support system like that, like I can talk about my feelings openly.
Yeah, yeah, that you could like lean on and such.
Well, I got friends, I got like family, but it's not, I don't know, it's just like I can't talk about my feelings openly, but there's always like that line that I don't want to cross with them. So it's
Mhm.
just, yeah, it's kind of yes and no.
I like that how you said that because I think a lot of us either A, don't want to feel like a burden to other, so they
Yeah.
choose not to talk to other people, whether they're close friends or family, because they don't want to just be a pest or bugging them over an issue. I find that really hard, and it's hard because it's, I guess you could say the word, it's unfair because
Yeah.
I think a lot of us is going through that, and they wish that they had someone really to just open up and talk to and not be judged. Um, it's okay. I know it's hard to talk about, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But like I'm scared that if I open up to someone, like they're gonna judge me. Like I'm scared of it. And I'm
Mhm.
like, so yeah.
So here's an opportunity if you would like. Would you like to open up now? Or even just give me an eye opening of what it's like to go through your mental health issue that you're facing.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. Like I've been dealing with depression for quite a while. And last year it was like it was horrible. I started to be in a relationship with a guy who was too old for me.
Mhm.
I was 14. I was 14 and he was 19. And he was a drug addict. He didn't care about me, obviously. So like
Mhm.
I was in a relationship with him and I started to get depressed because I knew it was a toxic relationship, but I loved him. And I was like, well, maybe if I work harder, maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that, he will care about me. So like I started acting but like weird and I started becoming like a person that I wasn't. And when I finally realized that, it kind of hit me hard.
Mhm.
So yeah, when I ended this relationship, I started to go out, to drink a lot, to smoke a lot, and yeah, it wasn't too good looking for my part.
Mhm. How are you right now though? Have you, I guess, gained control of it in a way, or are you still in those deep depression state of mind?
No, I did get control of it a little bit. Like I thought I was getting better because like there was a point where I started to get up early, to do all of my things, not to think about it and stuff like that. But then something happened and
Mhm.
I started to get depressed again. And like it wasn't that bad like last year when I was like very, very, very down. It was more like, oh, well, that happened. And I used to deal with self harm quite a lot
Mhm.
well, maybe last year.
Mhm.
Now I'm 3 months free. I just
That's
wanted
good.
to should have not let that happen, and I did. So
Mhm.
like it got me sad, but not depressed. But it got me really sad.
Mhm.
So yeah, now I'm trying. Like I'm getting better, but then I have downs, and then I have ups, and then I have downs, and it's a lonely feeling to heal.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
lonely.
I understand. Um, we talked about earlier, and I'm going to throw you a curveball on this one, and that is your dancing. And I
Yeah.
say that because I remember we were talking, and you're like, "Oh, I love to dance. You're in dance competition, and you want to go through that." Do you find that when you dance, it makes you feel happier, and you kind of just let go and you express yourself through your dance?
Yes. When I'm in rehearsal, I don't think about any depression. I don't think about any anxiety. I don't think about that. It's just like it's hard and it gets me, but it's another story. Like it's totally different.
Mhm.
And when I'm in the gym with the guys that I dance with, it's just like I forget who I am outside of dance. You know what I mean? Like I'm just happy to be there. But at the same time, it's so difficult and it's so draining that I'm like, oh, like it makes me forget what I have to go through. But then again, it's hard AF and like it's consuming me. So yeah.
Mhm. See, it's funny that you say that because as soon as I mentioned dance, you kind of lit up. And you're just like, guess what? Yes, I do love dance. And you express these emotions that you haven't expressed. I know the conversation just kind of started, but you express joy in the dancing. You express that stuff. But I wonder, do you like it for the just dancing and not worry about competing? Is that the most drain is the most thing that drains you the most is the fact that now you got to compete with something that you love versus enjoying it.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't think so. I it's because it's like it's because okay, before I was in a smaller group of dance, like I was with
Hmm.
girl of my age, but then all of the girls kind of dropped out, so they forced me to go up with the girls that were like 18, 21, and like they're grown-ups, and I was not ready for it,
Hmm.
and it's a whole another level of dance that I was not there yet. So I think that I was just so stressed, and I thought that I wasn't like the right level yet. So I think that's why I didn't want to do it.
Hmm.
But I don't, yeah, I don't know.
You're using an outlet, hopefully reducing the alcohol and stuff like that, and you're using dance as a way to really wrap your emotions around into it.
Yeah. Well, what happened is that I would skip class to go out and drink. And obviously, I almost got kicked out for it. And then when that happened, I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna work hard, and I want to do what I like. So I stopped, and then I didn't go out for like a long time. I didn't even see my friends for a long time, and I was scared that they would like left me or forgot me. And maybe what I just needed is to learn to be alone.
Mm.
Yeah. So
So
now I don't drink. I do smoke, but I don't drink.
mhm,
So yeah.
that's good. You gotta reduce it slowly, you know.
Yeah.
So one thing, so again, I'm liking this conversation because you mentioned a key word, and that was alone. And a lot of people, I guess, are sometimes scared to be alone, because you
I
don't want to,
am.
yeah, because you don't want to feel like an outcast. You don't want to feel like you're left out on certain things. The idea where we have to surround ourselves with people to feel like we belong as well. It's out there. But you have to look at it differently. And again, this is strictly just my opinion. When you're alone, you could focus on yourself. When you're alone, you're able to find those inner peace, find those inner strength to, again, just work on yourself. Because if when you work on yourself, you're able to present the better side of you and work
Yeah.
on those mental health issues instead of covering it up with friends and partying and so on and so forth. Like, um, when you're growing up, what was like growing up with an alcoholic father?
Well, I remember when I was a kid and I was with my grandmother in my dad's house, but because she used to live with my dad before she passed out. And I was in the living room with my grandmother, and then my dad came out of nowhere. He wanted to eat. He wanted my grandmother to cook something, and I think that she said no. So he started to go crazy. He started screaming, and I was just like, "What the hell is happening here?" And then I just like turned over my grandmother, and she was sobbing. She was crying, of course. And I was just seeing my dad screaming at her, and I was like, what is happening here, you know? And it's a trauma to see like someone you love cry because of someone else that you love, you know? It's just, it's confusing and it's scaring, and it's not for the little child to experience.
Mhm. That's true. Very, very true. You also mentioned something about not really bonding with him and so on and so forth. How is it now though? Like, is it still the same way or has it
No,
gotten
it's not.
worse?
He still drinks. I just don't see him that often to see him drunk.
Mhm.
He has a wife, my stepmother. She's an angel. He's my father, but I feel like he doesn't know me personally, and I feel like I don't know him personally.
Mhm.
It's kind of weird to say that because he's my dad,
Yeah.
and he doesn't know me personally. Like he's never seen me mad or crying or stuff like that. You know, it's just he used to take care of me when I was a kid, but now he doesn't do like he does it anymore. So.
Mhm. It's funny, not funny, but they always say daddy's little girl. I'm not sure if you heard that expression. And
Yeah,
I say that, and everything that you said, you don't seem like daddy's little girl because, as you mentioned, he doesn't really know you that well. Have you ever tried just saying, "Hey, Dad, let's talk. Let's get to know each other better"?
well, I feel like I don't want to do it.
Mhm.
I feel like I don't know. Like I love him. Like he's my dad. Now I can have a proper conversation with him. Like I don't see him drunk and everything, but I feel like I'm okay with my relationship with him.
Mhm.
You know, like it's just okay. You don't know me, but you don't have to. Like
Mhm.
let's just have our dinner and get over it.
So I guess either A, one, you're avoiding it to make it simple. It's more of a you do your thing, I do my thing. If we see each other, I'll say hi and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I I'm kind. Yeah, I do. I avoid it. I don't know.
You somewhat might look at him and other guys differently, right?
Yeah,
And they have this expression, daddy issues, in a sense, and you see girls going out with older gentlemen or whatever it might be. And as you mentioned earlier, you went out with someone older, so that's where I was going with that as well. So
yeah,
now you understand the effect of not having your dad present, and now the effect of going with someone much older than you.
I guess you're right.
So that's where you just have to be careful because I find, previous talking to a few other people about that, it's a fact that sometimes we go and you said it correctly. You said it earlier. You go with trying to please and do anything you want. Sorry, do everything that the other person wants just to make sure that they're around, just to get that small recognition, while you are over here dealing with a lot of issues,
Yeah.
right? And now you put those aside, your issues, because you want to please the other person. The problem is when this person goes, who's going to help you?
Yeah.
And that's tough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So saying
It
that, and I'm glad you're doing what you're doing now, because I've always told people, no matter what, I am number one in my life. And I say that because if I'm not doing well, the people under me, as in who I care about next and after that, I can't do my best to take care of them.
Yeah.
Right. And I assume you and your mom have a great relationship.
We do, but
Mhm.
like we do have a great relationship, but like 2 years ago we did not.
Mhm.
And we would fight all the time. I think I was just angry. I was angry at the world. Like I wanted an apology from anybody. I wanted
Mhm.
someone to apologize to me for the way that I turned out. And the quarantine came, and then me and my mom were locked up with each other, so we had to force like to a talk, and we had to force like a good relationship, and now we don't fight as much, and we do have a great relationship now.
That's good. So where I was going with that was, I'll make another example. You're number one in your world, in your life. And I hope that that is true, because you have your parents, your mom, your cats, for example, and you mentioned something about feeding them. If you don't take care of yourself, who's going to take care of those people or animals that you cherish, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's going to be tough. You mentioned about feeding them and how if you can't feed them, then they can't have nothing. Well, you are the one, if you're the one feeding them, you're the one taking care of them, you're the one that they love being around. But now you're locked up in your room, sad, depressed, don't want to go outside, don't want to see anybody. Everyone under you now gets affected by that. So
Yeah, maybe.
it's a tough pill to swallow, but it's kind of the truth.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I didn't saw this coming. No, I gotta be honest. But yeah,
Like just
it makes
really look,
sense.
yeah, just really look at those people that depend on you. And it doesn't matter how old they are. It doesn't matter, not just people, but animals. I have, well, my sister has a cat, but every time I see my cat or even see like my dog, when they're around you, they're very happy. They purr, they come up to you, they lick you, they do all those things that brings them joy, that shows, guess what? They are showing you that they like you, they love you, they care about you.
Yeah.
But if all you do is stay in bed, lock yourself away, do not bother about those people, it makes it tough for those people to come and show you those emotions, right?
Yeah.
So when I mentioned, and when you mentioned earlier, you're with someone that was older than you, when you give, and nothing is coming back, it's tough.
She's here.
There you go. Right?
Oh yeah. That's my
And
little baby.
that right there is a perfect example. He's not, cats, if you know how cats are, they versus, like, I love dogs too, even dogs as well. But cats and dogs, they go up to people that they're comfortable with,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, he almost like he bit my ex.
Hmm.
He hate him.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
That was
Oh.
that should have told you something.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't think that my cat would maybe go through it with me. I think he was just there because he was there. But like, yeah, it makes sense. Like maybe he's going through with it.
Mhm.
Like
And do
maybe
you have
like,
any other?
yeah, I think I just need to watch it and like to take better care of myself.
Correct, right? But at the same time, don't be afraid to lean on your mom, right?
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be hard because I don't know what she's going through. Only you know those things. But it's nice to talk to someone older, and even if you have a close friend, and it's hard with friends because you have to choose your friends very wisely, because not everyone that you call a friend is a friend. Not
Yeah.
everyone that you smoke with, drink with, they might just be good for that situation. But when they say, hey, if you're like, hey, I need some help, it's those people when you're stranded like 100 miles away, and you say, hey, I'm stranded 100 miles away. Could someone come get me? Whoever shows up are your close friends. Those are the people that you could reach out and say, guess what? I'm going through some things. Do you mind if I talk to you about it? And be careful, well, not listen to their advice. And if it makes sense overall, in which you'll get the help that you need to help not just you, but everyone else under you, then you know it's good advice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Like just yesterday, I had a huge fight with two of my best friends, and I realized if I needed their help for like something that wasn't partying, they wouldn't jump on it.
Mhm.
So it hurts, like losing friends that you care about. But at the end of the day, like if it happened, it's because it needed to happen. So yeah.
Yeah, very true. And again, even with your age, you have to understand, guess what? You're only 15. You have like minimum like 60 more years in you. So losing losing two friends now, or three friends, or all your friends now, you could rebuild with new friends that'll last you the lifetime, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes people kind of forget things are just for a moment, and it really is just a moment in time. There's a saying that certain moments in your life is just a season, and being where we live, we see all four seasons, and winter's almost finished and spring is coming. And despite winter feeling like it's forever, guess what? It's done and over with. So
Yeah.
I would like you, my personal advice for you is look at everything that happened today and before as just a season. And now, as they say in spring, it's the new beginning. There's something called, they say, spring cleaning. Do your spring cleaning of your life, do your spring cleaning of your friends. And then when summertime, and start planting those seeds of growth, those seeds of pleasure, and so on and so forth, in which that when it's come time to bloom, i.e. later on in your life, it's just much better that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Thank you.
Kids your age, or people around your age, or even anyone that's even older, what would your advice be for them to, if you could say something that'll give them hope, peace, find ways of an outlet to try and overcome it?
Don't be too hard on yourself. It's gonna take some time. It's not gonna be easy. Don't be too
Mhm.
hard on yourself. Give yourself a break.
Would you like to see people do to resolve or help out or support mental health?
Well, be nice. Be nice with people that you don't know, even people that you know. Like you don't know what everyone is going through. Just be nice. Tell them they're beautiful. Tell them they're nice. Just be gentle and nice. It's
That's
free.
very. Mhm.
It's free to be nice.
There could
Yeah.
be people that are younger than you that are going through those things. And when you mentioned your story, your experience that you've gone through, they'll reflect on and say, guess what? Camelia has gone through those things, but guess what? She is surviving,
Yeah.
right? And
Oh,
that's
hell
this.
yeah, I am.
Yes. And those are the things that will bring not just you joy, them joy as well. So try not to hold back. When you dance, express your emotions the way you want to express your emotions. If you draw, be creative, do those things that make you happy, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.